Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the wildest moments in Hollywood history. Today we're talking about one of the most talked about TV blow-ups of the past year, the night Denzel Washington allegedly walked off Andy Cohen's watch. What happens live after things got extremely heated? Now, before anybody comes for me in the comments, let me be crystal clear. This entire story started from a single sensational headline that spread like wildfire across social media and gossip sites. Multiple fact-checking outlets including Snopes, Reuters, and even Bravo's own team have confirmed that Denzel Washington has never appeared on Watch What Happens Live and no such confrontation ever took place. But the rumor was so juicy, and the fake clips were edited so convincingly that millions of people still swear they saw it happen live. So today we're going to unpack exactly how this fake story was born, how it exploded, why people wanted it to be true so badly, and what it says about the current state of celebrity news in 2025. Grab your popcorn because even though the fight never happened, the internet war that followed was very, very real. We're going all the way in, so make sure you stay until the end because the twist about who actually started the rumor is insane. Alright, let's start by setting the scene a bit more. To really understand why this rumor hit so hard, we need to go back and look at the cultural landscape of 2024 and 2025. Hollywood was already reeling from a series of massive scandals. Think the fallout from high-profile trials, cancellations, and exposes that shook the industry to its core. But nothing dominated the headlines quite like the Sean Diddy Combs saga. For those who might need a quick refresher, Diddy faced federal raids on his properties in March 2024, followed by a cascade of lawsuits alleging everything from assault to trafficking. By 2025, it had snowballed into one of the biggest celebrity downfalls in decades, with A-listers scrambling to distance themselves from old party photos and associations. Denzel Washington, being one of Hollywood's most respected figures, inevitably got dragged into the speculation because of past public appearances with Diddy. Red carpet hugs, award show nods, that sort of thing. But Denzel had always been low-key about his personal life, so any whisper of involvement felt like dynamite. Now enter Andy Cohen and watch what happens live. If you're not familiar, WWHL is Bravo's late-night staple, hosted by Cohen since 2009. It's the show where celebrities play games like Plead the Fifth, spill tea on feuds, and get grilled on everything from dating rumors to Bravo drama. Andy's style is playful but probing. He's the king of messy questions that make guests squirm just enough for viral moments. Contrast that with Denzel, an Oscar-winning legend who starred in films like Training Day, The Equalizer series, and classics like Malcolm X. He's known for his gravitas, his faith-driven interviews, and steering clear of tabloid fodder. The idea of these two in the same room, it's like mixing oil and water, or in this case, holy water and champagne. People had been memeing about it for years, joking about what would happen if Andy tried to Cohenize someone as unflappable as Denzel. So, let's go back to the origin of the lie. In early March 2025, a brand new entertainment blog with almost no followers dropped the headline. Denzel Washington kicked off Andy Cohen's show after heated exchange over Diddy questions. This wasn't some established site like TMZ or Variety. It was a WordPress blog that looked like it was thrown together overnight with stock images and zero byline. But in the age of algorithms, quality doesn't matter as much as clickability. Within hours, screenshots of the article were everywhere on X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, Instagram Reels, and even Reddit threads in subs like r/Bravo Real Housewives and r/Black People Twitter. The story claimed that Denzel was booked as a surprise guest to promote his upcoming Broadway revival of Othello. Wait, actually, let's correct that. It was a revival of A Raisin in the Sun, but the fake article got the play wrong, which should have been a red flag right there. Anyway, according to the tale, when Andy started pressing him about his longtime friendship with Sean Combs and the federal raids, Denzel supposedly said, "You're not about to sit here and disrespect me or my friends on national television." Then took off his mic and walked straight out of the studio while the audience gasped. To make it even more dramatic, The article described the WWHL clubhouse erupting in chaos, with producers scrambling and the show cutting to commercial abruptly. What really supercharged this was the visuals. People started posting AI-generated clips that looked scarily real. Deepfake Denzel with Andy's actual voice asking, "Weren't you at the white party in the Hamptons?" And Denzel replying, "Mind your business, little boy," before storming off. The clip got 47 million views in the first 48 hours, but let's break down why it spread so fast. First, the timing. This dropped right after another wave of Diddy news in February 2025, where more celebrities were subpoenaed. Second, the platforms. TikTok's For You page algorithm loves controversy, and X's trending topics amplified it with hashtags like #DenzelWalksOff and #AndyCohenExposed. Third, the endorsements. Even celebrities were, quote, tweeting it thinking it was real. Charlamagne Tha God said, "Denzel don't play," and 50 Cent posted laughing emojis with a caption like, "This why you don't mess with legends." Other stars like Ice Cube and Tara GP Henson liked posts about it, adding fuel to the fire before realizing it was bogus. The speed at which it spread shows how ready the internet was for this exact moment. So why did so many people desperately want to believe that Denzel Washington finally snapped on a Real Housewives host? It comes down to years of built-up tension and public image. Denzel has spent decades cultivating this untouchable, dignified, almost godlike persona. He rarely does interviews, never gossips, and when he does speak, it's usually profound or scripture-based, like that famous 2017 commencement speech where he quoted the Bible and talked about failing forward. He's the elder statesman of Black Hollywood, a role model who's navigated fame without the pitfalls that tripped up others. Fans see him as the anti-Diddy, principled, family-oriented, and above the fray. Meanwhile, Andy Cohen's entire brand is messy, unfiltered celebrity tea. From his books like the Andy Cohen Diaries to his role in the Real Housewives franchise, he's built an empire on shade, reunions, and gotcha moments. Don't get me wrong, Andy's beloved by many for his wit and LGBTQ+ advocacy, but to critics, he represents the gossipy underbelly of entertainment, especially when he probes into personal scandals. People have been fantasizing about these two worlds colliding forever, like a cultural clash of class versus crass. Add in the fact that 2024 and 2025 were dominated by the Diddy scandal, with names being named left and right. Cassie Ventura's lawsuit, the raids, the celebrity testimonies, and suddenly everyone was looking at every old photo of Denzel hugging Puff like it was evidence. The rumor gave people permission to imagine their classy king finally going off on someone they love to hate. It didn't matter that Denzel had already publicly distanced himself from Diddy in a 2024 Variety interview, saying, "I haven't spoken to that man in years, and our paths were professional at best." Or that in a 2025 Essence profile, he emphasized focusing on his craft over drama. The fantasy was too delicious. The dignified black icon shutting down the gossipy white host in front of a mostly white audience. Social media ran with it because it felt righteous, tapping into broader conversations about respect, race, and media ethics. Threads on X dissected it as poetic justice, with users sharing memes of Denzel as a superhero ping out of the studio. But let's pause here and talk about the psychology behind why fake news like this sticks. Psychologists call it confirmation bias. We're more likely to believe stories that align with our preconceptions. For Denzel's fans, this was a win against invasive journalism. For Andy's detractors, it was karma for years of pushing boundaries. And in a post-truth era where deepfakes are everywhere, it's easy to dismiss debunkings as deep state Hollywood cover-ups. Studies from places like the Pew Research Center in 2025 showed that 68% of Americans had encountered AI manipulated media and believed at least some of it initially. This rumor exploited that perfectly. Now, let's talk about how sophisticated the deception actually got. The main fake clip that went viral was only 38 seconds long, but it was stitched together masterfully. They used real footage from Denzel's 2018 appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert for his face and body language, specifically, a moment where he shifts uncomfortably during a joke. Then, they overlaid it onto a real WWHL set from an episode with Knee Leaks back in 2019, matching the blue couches and audience layout. Andy's questions were taken from an old episode where he was pressing Lisa Rinna about something completely different, her feud with Kim Richards, and just redubbed with AI voice cloning tools like 11 Labs or Respeecher. The lighting matched because they used filters to blend the color grades, the audience reactions were pulled from multiple episodes, gasps from a 2023 reunion, claps from a 2024 game segment, and slowed down or sped up to fit the timing. And they even added the little WWHL graphics popping up on screen like the Plead the Fifth chyron pulled from public domain clips. Unless you were a super fan who knew every episode by heart, or someone who paused to notice the mismatched shadows, it looked 100% legitimate. Tech experts later analyzed it on sites like Bellingcat, pointing out telltales like slight lip, sync delays or unnatural eye blinks, but by then it was too late. Then YouTube channels started making bank off it. We're talking creators with names like Celeb T-Spills or Hollywood Exposed Daily, uploading 20-minute full breakdown videos with titles like The Moment Denzel Destroyed Andy Cohen, full unedited footage. Those videos racked up millions of views, monetized through ads, super chats, and merch plugs. Even after YouTube added community notes labeling them as false, part of their 2025 misinformation crackdown, the algorithm kept pushing them because engagement was through the roof. The money incentive to keep the lie alive is massive. One channel admitted in a Patreon post that the Denzel video alone netted them 6 figures in a month. Bravo and Andy Cohen himself tried to shut it down immediately. The morning after the rumor exploded, Andy went live on his SiriusXM show, Radio Andy, and said, "I wish I had a story this good, but Denzel Washington has never been in my clubhouse, and if he ever is, I promise I'll be on my best behavior because that man scares me in the best way." He laughed it off but sounded genuinely frustrated, even joking about inviting Denzel for real just to debunk it. Bravo's official X account posted a statement saying the claim was completely fabricated and threatened legal action against sites spreading the fake clips for using their copyrighted footage without permission. They cited specific violations under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and a few smaller sites did pull down the videos after cease and desist letters. Denzel's team stayed quiet for 2 days, which only fueled the conspiracy theorists saying, "See, they're trying to memory hole it." Fans speculated on forums like Lipstick Alley that Denzel was too busy with his Equalizer 4 press tour to respond, or that his silence meant there was some truth to it. But eventually, his publicist released a short statement to The Hollywood Reporter. Mr. Washington does not engage with gossip programs and has no recollection of ever meeting Mr. Cohen. Short, sweet, and classic Denzel, dignified dismissal without feeding the trolls. That should have been the end of it, but the internet doesn't work like that. People started accusing both camps of covering for each other because Hollywood protects its own. Conspiracy TikToks claimed the deepfake was actually a leaked rehearsal clip that got scrubbed, or that AI was being used to gaslight the public. The harder official sources pushed back, with fact checks from PolitiFact rating it pants on fire. False. The more some corners of the internet dug in their heels and insisted it was real, subreddits like r/conspiracy ballooned with threads linking it to bigger theories about media control and celebrity blacklisting. To add another layer, this wasn't an isolated incident. 2025 saw a surge in similar hoaxes, fake beefs between Taylor Swift and Beyoncé, fabricated arrests of influencers, even a phony Oscar snub for Margot Robbie that trended for days. What made the Denzel one stand out was the racial and cultural undertones. Discussions on X about how black celebrities are disproportionately targeted in scandal, mongering, or how white hosts like Andy get a pass for invasive questions that would be called out elsewhere. It sparked think pieces in outlets like The Root and Vulture, analyzing how misinformation preys on societal divides. So, who actually started this whole thing? The trail leads back to a 19-year-old content creator from Atlanta who goes by the name Drama Alert King. He admitted in a now-deleted TikTok that he wrote the original fake article as satire after losing a bet in a group chat about whether he could make a completely made-up celebrity story trend worldwide within a week. He used ChatGPT to draft the article in under 10 minutes, Midjourney for the thumbnail of Denzel looking angry walking off set prompt, Denzel Washington storming off TV set, dramatic lighting, and cap cut to stitch together the deepfake clip using tutorials he found on YouTube. Tools like that are free and accessible. Anyone with a smartphone can create convincing fakes now. He never expected it to blow up the way it did. By the time he realized people were treating it like gospel, debating it on podcasts like The Breakfast Club and even referencing it in late-night monologues, the story had already been reposted by accounts with millions of followers, like at Pop Crave and at The Shade Room. He was scared to take it down because the engagement was paying his rent for the next 6 months. His TikTok analytics showed a 500% follower spike overnight. As of December 2025, he's quietly pivoted to gaming content, streaming Fortnite and Call of Duty on Twitch, and scrubbed everything related to the Denzel story from his pages. But traces remain. Archive sites like Wayback Machine captured his original post, and sleuths on X pieced it together through reverse image searches. Meanwhile, the fake clip is still circulating on platforms like Rumble and Telegram, where moderation is lax. And if you search Denzel Andy Cohen on YouTube right now, half the results are still calling it real, with comments sections filled with "I saw it live" claims. This is the world we live in now. One viral lie can outlive 100 fact checks, and sometimes the truth just isn't entertaining enough to compete. It raises big questions about regulation. Should AI tools have watermarks? Should platforms be liable for deepfakes? In 2025, bills like the Deepfakes Accountability Act are being debated in Congress, but progress is slow. Let me know in the comments if you initially fell for it, or if you've got your own favorite Hollywood hoax stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's wildest moments, real and fake. Peace out.